Wow, I'm in shock, honestly. I really didn't see this coming. You know, we usually cover only Arsenal related topics on this channel, but I think this is going to have such a massive impact on the whole league that we simply have to talk about it. Honestly, I'm in shock. I really thought that he would stay with Liverpool for many years. It seemed to me that he finally put together a new team, found a new formula, they are playing top class football again, they are fighting for the title this season, in fact they are currently first on the table. So yeah, to see that he is leaving at the end of the season is quite a shock. I can only imagine what is going through Liverpool's fans' heads right now. Look, I remember it like it was yesterday, when Liverpool signed Klopp in 2015. They signed him in October, November, something like that, during the season. And I remember, few months earlier, during the summer, when Arsenal fans started protesting against Arsene Wenger and him potentially signing a new long-term contract. For those of you who remember, Wenger's future was pretty uncertain at the time already. He won the FA Cup 1 year earlier, but once again he had a disappointing season in the league, and there was a real possibility at the time that maybe, due to Jurgen Klopp now being available on the market, that it is the right time for Arsenal to move on from Arsene Wenger and bring Jurgen Klopp to the Emirates. There were even some media mumblings and rumors that Arsenal were indeed interested in laying off Wenger and contacting Klopp, but I don't know, I guess there wasn't much truth in that. I love Arsene Wenger. I've always loved him. Every good memory of Arsenal that I have while growing up is thanks to Arsene Wenger. And for me, he will always be the best manager ever, knowing what he did and achieved with this club on such a strict budget. But I remember it like it was yesterday, when Klopp became available and those links started coming out, connecting us to him. I was just thinking, if there is one manager currently, besides Pep Guardiola obviously, who I would want to replace Arsene Wenger at Arsenal, it's Jurgen Klopp. His attitude, his energy, his charisma, character, his style of play. From the first moment on, I was a massive fan of Jurgen Klopp, and I was convinced that he is the next world-class manager who will achieve great things in his career. 100%. And I seriously thought he's the perfect fit for us, for Arsenal, to replace Arsene Wenger. We all know what happened next. Arsene Wenger stayed at Arsenal for 3 more years, and probably, as much as it hurts me to say that, I think we would have been in a much better position and stayed today if he left a couple years earlier. And we managed to bring in Jurgen Klopp. And just like that, since he joined Liverpool, you could have seen the transformation from the first moment. None of that, oh but mate, managers need 2 or 3 years to implement their ideas, and that other nonsense. From the first moment on, when he took charge at Liverpool, you could have clearly seen his vision, energy and plan for the club, and what he expects from his players. Of course, they were still losing games left and right at the time, because their squad was simply not good enough to achieve anything serious. But you could have still seen that he has completely changed the whole structure and style of the club. And just like that, 5 years later, he won it all. Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Community Shield, Super Cup, Club World Cup. I mean, do I need to say anything more? I'm still in shock, honestly. Look, now, especially, I think their players are going to give their all to win the Premier League title this season. I mean, they have to. I expect this to be a massive psychological push for them to get even better and bring Liverpool and Klopp his second Premier League title this season. This also pops a question. There will be no more of Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp rivalry. And we've known for quite some time now that Pep Guardiola is also unsure about his future when his contract expires, which is in 2025, so after next season. I wouldn't be surprised if he is also considering leaving Manchester City, especially with all the talk about their potential punishment, 115 charges, blah blah blah. You already know everything about that. You know what is Jurgen Klopp's biggest problem? It's the fact that he's been fighting for the titles and all the other major trophies during the Pep Guardiola era with Manchester City and with their unlimited resources. I'm not saying that Klopp didn't spend any money, because he did, let's be real. But still, if it wasn't for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City and their whole spending power and everything else, Klopp would probably have 5 titles by now, and he would be included in conversations about being one of the best managers in the history of this league. I mean, for me, he still is, even though he only won 1 Premier League title. But still, the way in which he transformed that club and took them to the top of the road after years and years and years of struggling and mediocrity is absolutely remarkable. So yeah, pretty massive news for the whole league. Listen, I've said it many times, for us, Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, You need to be on 100% all the time if you want to challenge these juggernauts that Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp are. Because we have to be honest, for the past, 10 years, they've been head and shoulders above everyone else in the league. And even when you think that they are finally starting to slow down, they are falling off, they surprise you once again. Since Jurgen Klopp took over at Liverpool, we haven't beaten them at Anfield. Can you believe that? We haven't beaten them for longer, to be more precise. We haven't beaten them at Anfield since 2012. 12 years. 12 years. And I remember that game like it was yesterday. And especially during the Klopp's era at the club, we suffered some massive defeats against them. Some brutal, massive defeats. And I don't even want to think about those games today. Whoever comes in charge after him, no offense to anyone, but it will be extremely hard for them to achieve anything close to what he did. But thanks to his time with the club, whoever comes next will still have a pretty solid all-around squad, so he will just continue from that point. But trust me, it won't be the same Liverpool we've known for these past 10 years or so. Last-minute goals, emotions, character, energy on the pitch. That's Jurgen Klopp. And whoever comes next will have a hard time to replicate that. It will be a different Liverpool. I'm not saying that they will not be good, but it will be different. Clubs change, players change, everything changes when you lose a manager who's been here for so long and has achieved so much with the club. And that's why I think that this is opening a perfect timeline for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, with Klopp going out to cement themselves as the best or second best club in the country alongside Manchester City. We need to make that step. We need to have that stability and everything that comes with it. Things are changing. Premier League is changing. Everything is changing. We have the youngest squad in the league, if I'm not mistaken. Pep Guardiola might also leave the club next year. And who knows? It's opening perfectly for us to assert ourselves as the next heavyweight club who will be the dominant force in the league for the next 5 to 10 years or longer. New faces, new players, new managers are coming. And I truly think after 20 years of wait, our time is now coming. Mikel Arteta is, 40 years old, and all these other managers in the league, Guardiola, Klopp, Ange Postecoglou, are 10, 15, 20 years older than him. Call me deluded, but I honestly think we have all the right conditions and ingredients to become the next Premier League dynasty. Jurgen Klopp is gone. Pep Guardiola will probably also leave soon, and I think we are in pole position to become the next major force in British football, and it is all opening perfectly for us. All in all, I guess that's all I wanted to say. So tell me, what do you think? What impact will this have on the entire league? Write down in the comments. Like always, thank you all for joining in, thank you for watching the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Peace.